Hey guys, this is my second video, today. Two videos in one day, in the same location filming. Kind of new for me, but I had two topics I wanted to discuss. The first video is already up. It was about, the whole Tommy Lahren young man video. You can go watch that video. It's my last video. I gave my thoughts. But there was something I mentioned in that video that I wanted to expand more on in this video, and not just about young men, about young people or just people in general of what I've noticed, and that is, why is everyone it seems so complacent nowadays? Like, where did the sense of, wanting adventure or wanting to do something with their life go? It seems every single person I meet, it's the same thing. You get up, you go to work, you go home, you maybe get married, have kids, whatever. But it's the same, it's like the 9 to 5 cycle grind. And it just, everyone is just so like, oh yeah, I gotta do that. And I'm just like, why? Like, a few coworkers I've talked to, and I asked them about, what they're doing this weekend, how is their weekend, whatever. It's almost the same thing. It's, they work all throughout the week, and then they get home, and it's they get they get drunk all weekend, or they go out to the clubs or the bars, and then they come over on Monday, sometimes still hungover, and work. And it's almost like a foreign concept to me. I don't understand it. Maybe it's because, I don't drink. I've never drunk anything. It's just, it's not. I've never had a sip of alcohol. It's just, it's not my thing. Um, I'm not against people who do it. You want to do it, go right ahead. It's your own, life. You do what you want. But it's just never been my thing. So I can't grasp my head around it. It makes almost no sense to me. The main reason why, what kind of kicked my memory into making this a video about this topic is, I recently started watching like the Indiana Jones trilogy again, which, I loved as a kid. I mean, who doesn't? What little person, especially a boy, did not go through an Indiana Jones phase when they were little, and they, dressed up like him. They got, a plastic whip, the fedora. They wanted to go on adventures because, like, what boy doesn't want to be Indiana Jones or even James Bond, a character like that, where, like, they're smart, they're educated, they can fight, they go on adventures, all the hot women want them. Like, that's like the ultimate boy fantasy. And most young men, they have that when they're little, and then they grow up and they get sucked into this 9 to 5 grind, and it's just, where did that sense of adventure go? Like, you remember that feeling, yeah, I'm going to accomplish great things and do all these cool things. And you get sucked into going to work, going home, and it's just, where did the adventure go, man? Come on. Like, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm different, but like, I have so many, adventure type things I want to do in my life. I want to take motorcycle trips all across the US, maybe into Canada and other countries. I want to go, hiking. I want to travel and explore other countries. And when I mention these, not a lot, but when the topic does come up with friends and coworkers and family members, they all kind of, well, there's two things. One is they go, well, you need money for that. And it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. You can just work more, whatever. Or they say something like, oh, why would you do that? And it's like, why not? Like, tell them, like, maybe it's just me, but a motorcycle ride all across the US to every single different state, that sounds so awesome. And, like, why would you not want to do that? The stories you would have to tell people, oh, I saw this in Minnesota, or, I drove up this mountain in Colorado. Like, it makes you such an interesting person, and not just these, freaking zombies you see every day who just go to work and they live. No, not really, but I think those people are boring anyway. I don't want to talk about those people, but, like, yeah, where did the sense of adventure go, man? Everyone is so mundane and complacent, and and the worst part is, they seem okay with it. Like, they seem like it's no big deal. Like, oh yeah, it's just what you do which I don't know about you guys. I was not put on this earth to work a job. I mentioned this in other videos. Like, I was put on this earth to have fun and go exploring, like I think many of you have. And I'm sure other people feel the same way. I know they're out there. I know there's people out there who feel the same way as I do, where like we want to do something with our life. Like I hate to, bring up the ancestors thing, because I think it's kind of a cope. Our ancestors did this, yeah, whatever. They've been dead for years, whatever. But I think they did do something right, and that is, explore. Whether they wanted to, they wanted to because they could, or they had to, they were forced to, whatever. We don't know, officially. But yeah, man, like everyone is so like they're so okay with being normal and left behind. And I'm sorry, it's not me. And I know there are others out there like me. When you are born, you only have one life. You have one shot, and that's it. Now, some people may be religious and think there's an afterlife and a place beyond, whatever. I'm not one of those person. I'm not really the religious type, and so my way of thinking is it's darkness. After we leave this earth and we die, it's nothing. And so why would you? I just because of that thinking, I have a hard time of understanding other people. Like, why don't you want to do something with your life? Why don't you want to, like set a goal? And let's say you want to, climb Mount Everest. Okay. Most people do have dreams like that, but they don't take the necessary steps in order to achieve those dreams. And it's just, I don't understand why exactly. And maybe I'm just insane. That very well could be true. But I want to understand other people's way of thinking as to why they don't want to take risk, or even just try to improve their life in some way, shape, and form. Like I mentioned earlier, we only have one shot at this life, and I don't understand wasting it doing what we've been doing for the last 70 years, working, going home, blah blah, kids, whatever. Like, don't people want to live, experience life? It could just be an American thing too. I've seen videos of like Europeans talk about this, and they have a different angle about it. Where they talk about how they live life to live life. They view, in some European countries, they view work as a barrier, or a, something that gets in the way of living life. While in America, it seems it's the opposite. We view, relaxation or lack of productivity as, what's the right word? As something that gets in the way of work, which is just, it's not a healthy way to live, people. And that's the main thing I want people to take away from this video is we need to bring back adventure. We need to bring back fun. Everything is just so bland and boring now. We need that kickstart, that spark to spark our imaginations or creativity. We need to bring that back, because the way we're living now, I don't want to say that, because it's not living. It's almost like society's in this sort of purgatory, and it's just not the right way to live, guys. Which some people would be nervous about, taking a risk or going on adventures because they're scared of the repercussions, or what happens if I do this and X happens. But you can't let fear, be the death of your dreams. Like, what's that awesome quote from Dune? Is that fear is the mind killer, which that's a fantastic quote, because it is. You can't be scared. You have to take risk. You have to try something. If you don't, you're going to just stay complacent and boring like everyone else. And that's just not cool, man. That's not fun. And so, like I mentioned before, my main takeaway is be adventurous. Go out and try things. Go, do something if nobody wants to go with you, do it yourself. You know, experience new things, because if you don't, you'll end up like everyone else, and That's just not a way to live, guys.